Okay, for this module, questions of international politics, one of the central issues that comes with this module is basically looking at the interconnectedness of questions of international politics and the multiple perspectives through which they may be approached. So it's kind of looking at basically how we engage with international politics, how we engage with world politics, how we engage with the political systems and structures that happen out with the academic classroom, that are going on within the world, and really kind of challenging them, engaging with them, debating, and really trying to push the boundaries of what we understand as international politics, and realising that for some of us we might have very unsatisfactory or be very kind of unhappy with some of the conclusions that we came to in regards to international politics or global politics, and really trying to develop new frameworks and questions and positions as how we can engage with international politics and try and lean towards getting some more answers that are potentially more savoury for us in this instance. And it's really at the heart of this is tackling some of the really large questions within international politics, looking at and re-engaging more importantly with questions of power, the state, territory, identity, conflict, gender, the economy, focusing on central issues also in regards to colonialism, slavery, poverty, violence, arms, and kind of looking at how these issues are framed within society, how we engage with them, some of the processes and the ideas that surround them, the theories that surround them as well though, and kind of going, is there different ways that we can be engaged with these central issues that kind of lay out how we understand what international politics is. And a lot of this module is really about challenging a lot of the many assumptions that we have in regards to our knowledge that's been built upon over the last 2, 3, 10, 15 years of international politics, and really trying to challenge and re-engage with international politics and not taking as our starting framework realism or constructivism or liberalism, but really trying to broaden out and engage with a periphery of voices, positions, marginalised groups, and kind of engage with different knowledges within the world to re-understand how we can engage with world politics and how we can hopefully maybe try and develop new thoughts and approaches and positions towards it. I'm not going to say it's going to be a revolutionary approach and we're going to have all these answers set out after 10 weeks, but it's a way to reframe some of the understandings that we've been developing over the past couple of years and realise that actually maybe some of the approaches that we haven't given us actually the answers that we necessarily want or that we're happy with. So we're trying to really come up with new approaches and new positions and new questions as well. A good part of this module as well, though, is actually about addressing how we individually, and I mean you, the students, how you engage with politics. Looking at the questions that you are asking. What are you interested in? How are you approaching global politics or world politics? And kind of really getting to see how you situate yourself and actually maybe kind of what you are wanting to push further, maybe what you have been dissatisfied with, and really changing and challenging the personal within international politics, because we are all engaged in this basically. So we really want to try and situate the individual within this experience for the module. Now, connected to this, the teaching method, this is not a traditional module at all. So for some students, they may absolutely adore this, and then for others, they'll be running to the hills. There's no lectures for this module at all. The way the module is structured is one seminar a week, and it runs for 3 hours. So it's a 3-hour weekly seminar, and that is all we have for this module for contact time. When you're in the module, I think the last time I ran this module back in 2009, and it had maybe about 40 students, and we put the students immediately into groups. Right at the start of term, you stay in those groups throughout the whole module. And what you basically do is the whole module is built around this book, Global Politics, A New Introduction by Jenny Edkins and Maya Zivvis. This is the, oh gosh, I think this is maybe like the 2015 edition. We're going to be working with the 2019 edition, okay? But we focus on this book, and each week we read 2 chapters that are chosen by the students, by one of the groups. And that's what we do. We kind of go in depth, we do a very close reading of the chapters, and then we come into class and we have discussions and debates, and we draw upon real examples or kind of maybe what's been happening in the news that speaks to what's happening within these chapters, and we basically follow the text as they develop basically. Within the module as well, we also have scheduled Skype Q&As with the chapter's authors. So within this textbook, it's an edited collection. There's about, I think about 24 chapters, each with different authors, and we'll be reading nearly all of them. So what we'll be doing is I'll try and reach out to the authors, and we have Skype chats basically at the end of near the end of the 3 hours, where they kind of just introduce your chapter a little bit more, and basically you then, the students, have the opportunity to kind of to pick their brains further on maybe issues that you're not happy with, or to push them, or to get more clarity in this approach. It's a really great way of teaching, and we had it last year, and the students found it so refreshing and really fantastic, really, to talk to the authors immediately, so that you're reading something and you're maybe not happy, or you're kind of going like, why did they use this example, or why are you adopting this approach, and why are they upholding X, Y, and Z? And you can then talk to them and you can kind of chat things through with the author. So it's a really nice way of engaging, and it really highlights the immediacy of the readings that you're engaging within as well, though. Also, when it comes to the teaching, so it's just a 3-hour seminar. We focus on the Global Politics textbook. We also have Q&As within the classroom via Skype kind of webinars, which are really good. And then actually, the overall structure of the seminars is focused on 14 discussion points for each seminar. And each group will lead one seminar throughout the term, basically. And the discussion points are kind of just to push you further forward, like what did you find about the chapter, what did you dislike, what did you like about it, what was missing from it, such and such, to kind of offer a level of structure to the seminars. And we adopt that same structure throughout for the whole 10-11 weeks of the module, okay? So as I was saying, basically it's one book that we read for this module. Global Politics, A New Introduction, and we're going to be focusing on the 3rd edition, 2019. I'm pretty sure we will now have electronic access for this edition via Primo in the library, so you don't have to go and buy the book if you don't want to. You're very welcome to, if you can get a good deal on it, or it's a year old now, so you might be able to get a second-hand edition within Amazon as well. The older edition, though, this one here that I've got here, a lot of the chapters are quite similar, although some of the more case studies are up to date for 2019. So even if you are struggling to get hold of the new edition, you can always go to one of the older ones as well, though it's not a problem, okay? But there should hopefully be an online access that we can be engaging with then for you, okay? Now, to finish, well, actually, just quickly, we'll have that one chapter, basically. We'll have that one textbook throughout the whole module. I might ever so often just add a wee article or two for you, kind of more on a voluntary basis for you to be engaging with and reading, but otherwise it is just this one text, and kind of really getting you, the students, to do like a really close reading as you are going across it, okay? Now, to finish, and then I actually will finish, we're going to just have a quick discussion on the assessments for this module. There are 2 assessments for Global Politics. There is a narrative essay, and it's worth 50% of your overall grade. This works out as a 2,500 word essay, and it basically is on how you came to be interested in global politics. And this is very much a way for you to be experimenting with your writing, to break away from some of the traditional academic approach to writing that you've kind of been engaging with for your 1st and 2nd years. And we focus on narrative autobiographical, or maybe what can be called autoethnographic ethnographic writing, where very much the focus is on situating yourself and your personal experiences within the writing process. And the emphasis is very much upon the use of the I within it. Students who engaged with this last year, when I was running the classroom, they wrote essays on feminism, gender, the environment, the economy, identity, colonialism, just to give you some flavours, and wrote about their own experiences and their engagements with these issues, basically. And a lot of the students really found it liberating as well, though, and they were kind of just like, this is the kind of writing that they've been wanting to do for a while as well, but there wasn't necessarily a place for it within their other modules. So it can be quite a liberating experience. You do have to reference as well, though, but it is very much a completely different way of writing as to how you'll have done it previously within other modules. We do offer support because this is a brand new experimental way for writing for most of you. So we can introduce you to some examples of it. There's a really good one by Jenny Edkins, also by Emma Cass from within the department as well, though, and just kind of get you introduced to actually what narrative or ethnographic writing is, the benefits from it, and kind of the freedom that can come from it as well, though, and then kind of get you to emulate it in this instance. The second assessment for this module as well, though, is a little bit different as well. It's a logbook, and again, it's just 50% of your mark. And the logbook basically is a commentary on each chapter of the text, providing weekly thoughts, perceptions on the theories, the ideas, the concepts, and also the class debates. So it's a logbook, it's a diary basically of just kind of what you've been doing throughout the module and engaging with like the key issues within the text and also within the classroom debates as well, though. There's kind of two approaches you can take towards the logbook, and I'm happy for either. You can do it as a very traditional kind of diary logbook entry. You can just type it up in Word basically and then just print it off and submit it that way. Or what we try and encourage the students to do, I don't have one here basically, is to buy almost like an A4 diary, journal, or kind of logbook. You can buy them in the Students' Union, and be as creative as possible basically if you so wish. So one of the students I had last year, she did her logbook via comic books basically, and created a little comic strip for every one of her entries. Another one of my students created almost when you opened up her logbook, she had like pop-outs, and it was like interactive, and I could like pull little things, and things would appear within her work. It was all very interactive and highly creative and very artistic in this approach. And I had other students as well, though, who kind of use like collage, kind of like the newspaper cutouts and various things basically. So you can be as creative as you wish basically, or as traditional when it comes to your logbook. I do have examples of logbooks from a previous module that I'll be bringing into class as well, though. So again, you will be highly guided along the way, though, as to kind of like, what to be expected. But it's your choice as well, though. So those are the two assessments, narrative essay and then the logbook for you, okay? So that was just a little quick overview for questions of international politics.